So, as the title of this video suggests, I vape. Yeah, I know, I shouldn't do that. Vaping is bad for you. Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. But towards the end of 2023, the thought occurred to me. I wonder how many of these things I go through a year. So, for all of 2024, I decided to find out, and meticulously saved every single vape I purchased and finished for that year. Now, before I go any further, allow me to just provide the necessary warnings. These vapes contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. This video was made more or less for research purposes, and in no way am I saying you yourself should start vaping if you haven't already. Vaping is bad for you. Nicotine addiction is not fun or cool. Don't vape if you can avoid it. Got it? Good. Let's get on with it. For the sake of consistency, I decided to stick with one brand for the entire year, and that would be what I believe to be the most well-known and popular brand, Breeze. Most of what you're going to see here is the Breeze Pro, but I did wind up switching to the Breeze Prime later on in the year. When it comes to disposable vapes, these were the best options that were available for the longest time in terms of variety and longevity, and I am what I refer to as a heavy hitter. One Breeze Pro would last me around 3.5 days on average, and the Breeze Prime would last me about 5 to 7 days on average. I stored all of these vapes in a box I had from some work boots that I bought. Not only was I curious about the amount of vapes that I used, but also what flavors I tended to be drawn to and stick with. Spoiler alert, they're all fruity. And I can tell you this now, the flavor that I stuck with the most in terms of the Breeze Prime was the honeydew pineapple flavor, and my prediction for the pros was that the top flavor was going to be either blue raspberry or grape. But I know we have a few wild cards in the mix as well. So, let's open up the box and see what the damage is. So this is what 1 year's worth of disposable vapes for one heavily addicted person looks like. This is all me. Nobody else, all me. And all of these vapes are dead. There was not a single instance where a flavor had me like, oh, I don't like it, I'm gonna toss this and get a different one. No. All me, all dead. Full accountability here. So here are the results. In total, this box contained 70 vapes, 51 Breeze Pros, and 19 Breeze Primes. The most popular flavor of Breeze Pro was the blue raspberry at 11 vapes, and, as predicted, the most popular flavor of Breeze Prime was the honeydew pineapple at 15 vapes. For the pros, in total we had 11 blue raspberry, a two-way tie between grape and blueberry banana with 9 each, 5 blueberry watermelon, 4 cherry lemon, a three-way tie between strawberry kiwi, pineapple coconut, and orange mango watermelon with 3, 2 peach mango, another tie between strawberry banana and raspberry lemon at 1, and I'm going to give an honorable mention to the citrus flavored vape that I walked into 2024 with. The only reason I'm not adding it to the official count is because it was purchased and started being used in 2023, not 2024. And the fact that I never bought that specific flavor again should probably tell you how I feel about it. For the primes, the list is much shorter. In total, there were 15 honeydew pineapple, 2 mangoes, 1 peach berry, and 1 cherry lemon. That's a lot of freaking vapes. And as I was doing a final count, there were a few things that came to mind. The first, how much did all of this cost me? This gets to be a little hard to measure because I wound up purchasing these vapes from 2 different places, the gas station where I work and my local vape shop, and these places price their vapes differently. So for this, I'm going to be calculating the costs based on the prices where I work. Why? Well, for one, it's where I bought the overwhelming majority of my vapes because it was convenient. and for another, they're more expensive. So it'll give you a pretty good idea about what you could be spending on these vapes if you're not able to find a better deal elsewhere. Now for the fun part, the math. Where I work, the Breeze Pro costs $19.99 each, but we do have a 2 for $30 deal that I very much took advantage of. On top of that, my state of Michigan has a 6% sales tax, bringing that $19.99 for one to $21.19, and that 2 for $30 deal to $31.80. So, assuming we stuck with the 2 for $30 deal and bringing our total of 51 Breeze Pros to an even number, 50 vapes divided by 2 brings us to 25 individual purchases. Now we take that $31.80 from the 2 for $30 deal and multiply it by 25, and you get $795, and an additional $21.19 for that one lone Breeze Pro, and in total we spent $816.19 on Breeze Pros in 2024. Now for the primes. Where I work, Breeze Primes cost $24.99 each, plus that 6% sales tax, and that brings us to $26.49 per vape. The difference here is that my gas station doesn't offer any deals on our Breeze Primes. So we're just going to take that $26.49 and multiply it by the number of vapes. And in total, we spend $503.31 on Breeze Primes. So, the overall cost for all of these vapes, the $816.19 for the Pros and the $503.31 for the Primes, that means in 2024, one little old me spent a grand total of $1,319.50 on vapes. And I did the math on that, and it turns out that that is enough to cover my rent and my bills for water, sewage, electric, and internet for a month with $200 left to spare. See? I told you addiction wasn't cool. Another thing that crossed my mind while I was doing all of this is just how bad vaping must be for the environment. Like I said earlier, I consider myself to be a heavy hitter due to how many of these vapes I personally use. I know people who are able to make a Breeze Pro last them over a week and a Prime last over 2 weeks. So these people might use significantly less vapes in a year than I do, but that doesn't change the fact that all of these vapes and the packaging that they come in will wind up in the garbage, if not out on the street. To put it into perspective, each vape comes in a box of 5 to 10, which is wrapped in a plastic tamper-proof wrap. Each vape comes in a hard plastic case that is also wrapped in a plastic tamper-proof wrap, and each vape comes with a rubber plug for the mouthpiece and a rubber cover for the bottom. And as far as I know, there's no way to recycle all of this packaging or the vapes themselves, meaning all 70 of these vapes have nowhere else to go but the garbage bin. That's a lot of waste that could potentially be poisoning our environment. That's all without taking into consideration any residual nicotine juice that might still be inside of the vape or the batteries of the vapes themselves, which don't have enough power to let you take another hit from the chamber, but have plenty of power to flash that pretty white light at you, letting you know it's dead. Now, as of making this video, I no longer buy Breeze brand vapes. Mostly because they're kind of shit compared to some of the other brands that are out there now. The most goated brand I found was the Geek Bar, but due to circumstances, my local vape shop doesn't sell Geek Bars anymore. Currently, my main squeeze is the Fogger Vape, which lasts me just as long as a Breeze Prime, costs less, and comes with a rechargeable detachable battery. It's alright. It has its own problems though. Look, I'm no environmental expert or engineer, product designer, medical professional, or any other type of professional that is able to tell you what these disposable vapes are or are not doing to us or our environment. I'm just a person that got curious one day and decided to record his own findings. If this video helped you in any way, let me know in the comments. And if you are any kind of professional that is capable of looking deeper into this than I am, then by all means. Yes, I do realize that I just put one of my bad habits out on full display for the world to see, but if it can be of help in any way, then I'll let people make of it what they will. My name is Blue Raven 666, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!